Alrighty. Good night. Good evening. It is Wednesday, and you already know what time it is. It's SEC After Dark. We're going to do a little bit of After Dark, presented by the After Dark channel, which is presented by DeadSoxy. So, Father's Day is right around the corner, and DeadSoxy has the perfect gift for any budget, whether as a gift or buying for yourself. DeadSoxy is excited to help you celebrate with style. Sign up for a DeadSoxy NIL membership and receive new styles every month, 2 months, 3 months, or even every 6 months. These socks not only comfort your feet, they give back. Over 50% of the proceeds are pumped back into Ole Miss athletics. If a sockscription isn't your speed, ask for a Saturday 7-pack. Get 7 unique designs to coordinate each of these upcoming season's 7 home football games. Again, these packs give back to Ole Miss athletics as well. So visiting DeadSoxy.com, that's DeadSoxy.com, and stock up on your favorite socks while supporting your beloved Rebels. It's a double win. You can also get 25% off on all non-licensed styles and free shipping on all orders with the code
After Dark.
After Dark. So happy Father's Day from DeadSoxy. As always, stay soxy. And
stay soxy.
Stay soxy. So excited about this new partnership we have with DeadSoxy. I'm looking at the website right now. They have some pretty cool stuff, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, they've got Georgia stuff, they got Alabama stuff, they've got Tennessee stuff. So whatever you're interested in, they probably have that in stock for you as well.
That's right. So it's they have these athletic lounger socks that have just random designs to it. So I plan on making an order at some point. I need to up my sock game, that's for sure.
Well, Jake actually searched the website, but since he's on AOL Instant Messenger doing this broadcast, it kicked him off.
It did. He Googled the wrong thing. He took Jeb's advice and Googled the wrong thing. So
yeah.
You know.
Either that or Cassidy's using the phone and he's still on dial-up. I don't know.
Dang it, Cassidy! I was on the phone.
Oh Cassidy, my goodness,
Cassidy, you knocked Jake off the line here.
But
yeah,
seriously,
anyway,
Cassidy.
Steve Willis, Jeb Beecham, and Jake Thomas, whenever he decides he can get back to the wonderful world of SEC After Dark. Steve celebrated his bicentennial birthday a few days ago.
Yeah.
I want to make fun of him, but he had me walking all over Disney World. He could do it just fine. I was not doing that well.
You're not there yet, Jeb.
No.
Pour one out for my childhood friends, George Washington and Thomas Jefferson.
That's right. And Alexander Hamilton. So bicentennial. I if ADHD didn't strike me, I would have made a bicentennial post to you, Steve. But ADD got the best of me. So
that happens.
ADD won. So
I was too old for the Civil War draft.
Yep.
Oh Lord.
Oh man, I love it, dude. I love it. Okay, so we got quite a bit on the docket tonight. We got some SEC scheduling stuff. Israel and I talked about that. Israel's back from the beach, so if you want to check out the latest episode of Bleav In Georgia Dawgs, it is on. It is available on our YouTube channel and wherever you find your podcast. If you want to check that out, check out Israel and I's opinion on rule changes, SEC schedule stuff, and then also Georgia hired a new baseball coach. Yay! Wes Johnson from LSU, pitching coach from LSU, longtime MLB assistant, most recently with the Twins. So that'll be fun.
I will never understand how Georgia can be bad at baseball.
They don't recruit well.
That's part of the one thing because they play good baseball in Georgia.
They could hit.
They should be able to hit a 9-iron and recruit for their program.
Yeah, there's no reason Georgia should be bad at
Yeah.
any of the major three sports because of what's in Atlanta alone. Like, it's unacceptable for Georgia to be terrible in basketball too.
Well, true.
Cassidy, we recorded that thing last night. I posted it. It premieres at 7 a.m. Central Time and just is available all day. So we're not live. Just break the glass on that.
My Locked On Ole Miss podcast from today hasn't gotten less than 80 views in an hour. So I was like, I'm going to be all right on this one. I made a little money today.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, where is Jake?
Yeah, Cassidy, come on. Yeah. Did Jake just dump us? Did we say something offensive? Did he become an Auburn fan and he's just ashamed to tell us?
I knew it.
You think he'd want to be here while we're talking about
Is he looking longingly at Aubie's poster in his bedroom?
Wondering how the hell did we lose to Penn?
Good grief, man.
That's pretty bad. But Bama gets to face the number 1 team in baseball.
We're looking for future sponsors. Do not recommend charter internet to anybody. I could have told you that, Jake. Do you have any other providers?
It's just an older way of doing things, Jake.
Charter. Good Lord. I had charter in Athens. That was probably the worst thing of all time.
That's right above saying Jake has net zero.
Yeah, I had about in Jackson, Tennessee. I remember they're terrible.
Charter might be the worst. They might be the worst company of all time.
Of course, he lives in Alabama, so he's lucky it's not like Bob's Internet.
Like you have to get.
I'm from Mississippi. I mean, I understand that. We had those situations. It's like Vicksburg interwebs. It's like no.
There's something like that in Centerville, Tennessee, where my brother-in-law's lake house is. He's got some sort of random internet that I've never heard of. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, some internet that doesn't even have ESPN3.
Yeah. The only channel it offers is ESPN News. With Lowell Galindo.
You can watch the Lumberjack games from 1987.
And the World Series of Poker from 1988. Where Doyle Brunson took down the gold bracelet.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You've never seen the movie Rounders, I presume.
Oh, I have seen the movie Rounders. Yeah. That's what is it, Teddy KGB or whatever?
Yeah, Teddy KGB, yeah. He takes him down. Like he studies the World Series of Poker from 1988, where Doyle Brunson checked his way into a win.
Oh.
He got a full house on the it was a straight flush on the flop, and he just checked it until the opponent bet all in, and he would check and then he would call, acting like he was chasing something, and then he called us all in and beat him.
I think he got his opponent to call in, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He didn't have anything. Yeah, that is actually impressive. But getting a straight flush on the flop like that, come on. How often does that happen?
That's
like
let's see.
Once every 10 years hand.
Yeah, pretty epic here.
Look who's back.
Hey.
Cassidy is back on the show.
Yeah. Welcome, Cassidy. Cassidy with her dinner. What's for dinner, Cassidy?
Is she holding up the rabbit ears, trying to get your signal?
Yeah, this is absolute garbage. I'm sorry.
Do you have Bob's interwebs?
Yeah. We actually got new internet coming through. It's going to be another 6 months for us in our area, so I just got to survive until then.
Look, they're building it now.
Yeah. They put the tower up yesterday.
That's a deep dive if you get my reference there.
Yeah, it's that Euro trip.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We get trained. They're building it now.
Yeah.
Miami Vice.
America #1 new show.
Popcorn. Okay. All right. Get your popcorn ready for this show because there's a new sport overseas that we're definitely not going to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we're going to go MLS after dark tonight. It's going to happen.
It's definitely going to happen, but we're definitely not going to talk. That's definitely not the sport I'm referring to. But
oh, okay. You're talking about the
Yeah.
It's taking Sweden by storm.
The Center League.
Sweet.
Yeah.
The Missionary League.
Okay, right. We're getting too close. Getting too close. Let's talk about 8 or 9 game football schedule before everybody runs off. We started out with like 10 streamers, and now we're down to 3 live at the moment.
Yeah,
so
ADD radio at its finest.
Yeah.
So
we are ADHD.
If you ever needed a full human personification of ADHD, you got it right here.
Well, last week we talked about our worries with an 8 or a 9 game schedule, and the SEC responded by just kicking the can down the road and not making a choice and pushing the decision off to next year. But the good news is the LSU rivalry that I cared about, it's safe for at least another year. The Alabama-Georgia rivalry, the Alabama-Tennessee rivalry, the Auburn-Georgia rivalry, Florida-Tennessee, Georgia-South Carolina. Y'all have a lot of secondary rivals.
Everybody hates us.
Yeah,
it's geographic too. Like everybody that borders us hates us.
Yeah, but they kick the can down the road, and honestly, I'm okay with it as long as they make a decision next year. If they do it again, because let's not forget that Texas A&M and Missouri came in the league, and they put a temporary schedule in for them, and they've kept that for 13 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely ridiculous.
That's why Georgia has not been to Kyle Field yet. So
right.
I think we're staring at a 9-game schedule. It's just they're waiting on ESPN to pony up the rest of the money for a 9th game.
I figured out how that could happen.
It's all money. I mean, the PGA proved that everything is just about money. It's just about money. That's all it is.
Did you see? Was it Brooks Koepka on CNN today where they asked him about
Bryson DeChambeau.
And they asked him about 9/11 and the Saudis' involvement in it, and his answer was everybody makes mistakes.
Oh,
he is a complete meathead.
Wow.
That might be one of the worst answers I've ever heard.
Yeah.
He makes Rob Gronkowski look like a neurosurgeon.
Good grief.
That's scary.
Yeah.
I asked him about that, and they said, "My bad, dude. My bad."
Yeah. That's all me.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Yeah. I couldn't bank left fast enough, and I just hit the top. We all make mistakes, man.
The Saudis buying the PGA Tour is interesting. Of course, I did not watch golf before the LIV. I did not watch golf after the LIV, and I'm not going to watch golf now. But I can understand how people that do, that'd be like me losing the LSU game because
they made more money going somewhere else.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
But no, what's troubling also is that they sold their soul to the Saudis, but this time last year they were condemning the LIV Tour and they were condemning all of these players going over to the LIV Tour, and then here these guys shoot up the leaderboards in every PGA event, and now PGA's threatened so that if you can't beat them, join them type situation because the LIV Golf after Brooks Koepka won the PGA Championship. That's the springboard that LIV Golf needed to take over, and obviously we're seeing that now because the PGA said, "Okay, all right, well, you got us."
Well, the funny thing is nobody was watching it. They had some event in DC that over 2 days of it had 6,000 and 4,000 viewers on the CW.
Oh God!
Wow.
Yeah, nobody was watching it, but it wasn't until these guys had to infiltrate PGA events. And they're just threatening. Like PGA doesn't have their superstars because their superstar keeps choking. Their megastar is too old and broken to be what he used to be. Your other megastar is now the megastar of the LIV Tour, and he's 52 years old. So what can he really do?
Right.
You're banking your hopes on Scotty Scheffler, he's a superstar talent. But he's not a superstar. And you have John Rahm, who's a superstar talent, but he's not a superstar, if you catch my drift. Brooks Koepka is. Bryson DeChambeau is a complete meathead. I couldn't stand him before. Now I really can't. Bubba Watson, Dustin Johnson, Cam Smith, those guys have it factors in the sport of golf. And now they're with Liv.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not going to watch it either way. I just know that there are some people that are very upset about this merger. There's probably some people that's excited that it's all going to bring people back together somehow. And,
it's not.
Yeah. And we'll see exactly what happens with it. All I do know is the Saudis actually made an offer to Lionel Messi, one last-ditch offer to kind of win his services. 3 years, $1.6 billion. And Messi said no and went to Miami. That's got to be a hit on your confidence whenever that happens.
Yeah.
That tells you what you need to know, because not everybody can be bought, obviously. And
you said 1.6 billion.
I would say Tiger's not hurting for cash. I mean, Tiger made a $500 million divorce settlement, and that was like me clearing out my back pocket. So I don't think he really missed out on much cash. And he has so much passive income that he could never swing another golf club and still be a billionaire. Like,
my gosh, he's still a part of a bunch of commercials and everything, and
his brand, just the Tiger Woods clothing brand.
Yeah,
right.
It's in a way it's similar to what Michael Jordan had.
Right.
Has.
Yeah, has. Yeah, I forget that he's 60 years old and still making millions of dollars a year.
He still makes $400 million just on the Jordan brand.
Yeah, everybody wants to talk about who was the GOAT, LeBron or Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is still making millions of dollars a year based off of his brand. Michael Jordan wins. Period.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron's going to be making Space Jam 2, and that's about all he's going to be doing.
I will say MJ is a terrible owner, though. So.
Players generally make terrible owners.
I know they do.
Yeah,
LA's not an owner; he was GM, but still not great. But Steve, please correct me on this. I made a comparison. We were talking about the whole Messi and CR7 thing with Ronaldo. He's playing with the Saudis, and he's probably the next domino to come over after he enjoys his Saudi money. But I said that, like, when we were talking about who was better, I was like, okay, well, Messi's like Jordan, and Ronaldo's like LeBron. Like, Ronaldo has a lot of statistical categories, probably some more of the individual accolades. But Messi's one of those players, you just watch him and you just know, right? You just know. Like, he does so many other things. You just watch him, you're like, yeah, that's it. That's it. And when you watch Michael Jordan, you're like, that's it. Yeah. I mean, he had some stats and hardware to back it up also. Especially the defensive player of the years and the 6-0 in the finals, things like that. But you watch Michael, like, you just watch them play and you're like, okay, yeah, that's the guy. That, like, he's the best of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just know.
Yeah.
And that's hard to explain when you're arguing with somebody that wasn't around watching Michael play, but you're right. Just watching him play was different than watching people play today. Like,
watch him take over a game. Like, nobody, I've never seen, like, Kobe's the closest person I've seen to that. And you can't say Kobe's the greatest because Kobe modeled his game directly after Michael's.
Right.
The funny thing is, Michael Jordan averaged 30 points a game for several years in the age where the bad boys were a thing. And NBA games were typically scored in the 80s.
Yeah.
The Jordan rules actually happened because of Michael Jordan. They're just like, hey, we're going to knock the hell out of you. And if Michael Jordan was in today's era, he would average 45 a night. I'm convinced of that.
Yeah, easily. Like, people were like, yeah, LeBron, the talent wasn't as good. Look at the Dream Team. The talent was absolutely just as good. I mean, the Dream Team would wipe the floor with whatever USA Basketball's putting out right now. The Dream Team would destroy any of those teams.
I saw something one time. I don't know how true it is, but didn't MJ win at least a ring before Scottie Pippen got there?
Mm-mm.
Or no?
Pip came in '87.
So, but still, LeBron had to go and make a super team to win his championships. He didn't,
Yeah, the Bulls drafted Pip.
Right,
so
exactly.
It's not like they never really. The only major free agent they got, the two biggest free agent signings the Bulls had, Ron Harper, who's an excellent defensive point guard, and Dennis Rodman.
Rodman.
He could get 40 rebounds a game.
Defense.
But that first championship that the Bulls won, you had like Horace Grant, John Paxson.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had the big center, Cartwright.
Yeah.
And you had a bunch of. I mean, it wasn't a team that was just.
DJ Armstrong was your point guard.
Yeah,
right.
It wasn't the team that was just juggernauts that won that first championship. It wasn't like when the last championship was won when it was Kukoc and Rodman and those guys on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It was a different thing.
The best international star on your team, that was actually pretty well. They drafted him.
Mm-hmm.
They drafted him, but he was the top international player.
Remember
by the end of
he was going to replace Michael Jordan because remember that when the Dream Team happened and the U.S. played Croatia and Ed Jordan just took it upon himself to destroy Tony Kukoc.
Yep.
Wait, Jordan took something personally? He never took anything personally.
Yeah, personally. Yeah. No, but later on in that run, people wanted to come play for the Bulls because they wanted to play with Jordan. So it's not like he was out trying to move around and find the Dream Team.
But they didn't really. They didn't really. They wanted to knock him off.
Well,
teams wanted to knock him off. They signed Dennis Rodman.
They could not play with him.
Yeah, I mean Dennis Rodman was at an all-time low. I mean he had just gotten cut by the Spurs.
Yeah,
or it was getting ready to get released by the Spurs. He'd got cut by the Pistons. Prior to that, was in a complete downward spiral, and the Bulls picked him up. He still had a lot left in the tank, but he was not. He was a much different Dennis Rodman than he was when he first signed on, when he first got drafted.
I would love, and he would never do it because the Zen master, he does too many things. But I'd love to just sit down and talk to Phil Jackson because he coached Kobe in his prime when they were winning Kobe and Shaq, and he coached Jordan. It's like, okay, seriously, if you can only have one, which one are you taking? Because those Kobe teams with Shaq, wasn't as good as the Bulls team, but Kobe meant more to that LA team, and Shaq was. It was interesting.
They had a really nice. Their 1-2 punch was a scorer and a big, whereas you had a wing and a scorer with the Bulls. It was just kind of a different makeup with the Bulls. I think they had to have more role players because they never had that dominant center like those Laker teams did with Shaq. So they had to make up for it by having a really good defensive three in Scottie Pippen, defensive point guard with Ron Harper, and they had Rodman.
In just a second, we're going to tell you about the curious case of Austin Simmons. There's a weird recruiting situation going on now, but we want to let everybody know what's going on with him. But before we get started, tell them about Bet Online.
Yeah, so we are also presented by BetOnline.ag. It remains your number one source for all your online sports betting needs. NHL finals are in full swing. I've got a future on the Knights. It looks like that one's going to hold up. I've also got a future on the NBA finals with the Denver Nuggets. So hopefully that will come to fruition as well. But they also have live game betting. They have all odds and props and futures on just about anything you want. They have any casino game that you want as well. I like blackjack. Jeb likes a Caribbean 3-stud poker.
Did not know that.
Did not know that either.
I had to Google that. But whatever BetOnline has, whatever your sports gambling or casino game of choice that you want to play, BetOnline.ag has it. So what you need to do is get on your mobile device, or you can hop on your computer, go to the website, BetOnline.ag, type in the promo code Bleav. That's BLEAV. When you make your first deposit, you will get a 50% welcome bonus. So half of your deposit as a bonus. So you deposit $100, you're going to get $100. You're going to get 50 extra for typing in that promo code Bleav. So that's a great deal. So do it. Type it in. BetOnline.ag is where the game starts. Austin Simmons.
He's a Florida Gators commit, okay? And I bring this up because he just recently visited Ole Miss, and there's kind of a tug-of-war happening between Lane Kiffin and Billy Napier at the moment, probably over NIL. I don't know that for sure, but something's going on. But the reason I bring this up is Austin Simmons. If you do any research on him, he's from, I guess, Pahokee, Florida. And he's already had enough high school credits to graduate, although he is technically a class of 2025. I mean, he could literally just – it's like he's after his age in retirement and can just move on. If Ole Miss wanted to, he could reclassify to right now, enroll in summer school, and go through fall camp. I mean, that is where he is. Or he can keep kicking the can down the road and graduate high school in 2025 and go through that signing class. He has 50 hours of college already at his record. So he could go to college right now and essentially have an associate's degree.
Good night.
So this class of 2025 player, by the way, is also a top 100 prospect, left-handed quarterback, can absolutely throw dimes, and he's also a left-handed pitcher that can throw 96 miles an hour.
God.
So whenever you talk about genetic jackpot, they're talking about this kid.
Jackpot.
Mm-hmm. And it's just amazing. And I think right now he's in Gainesville basically meeting with the Florida staff to decide if he's going to flip or not. Right now, before today, the momentum was towards him flipping to Ole Miss, reclassifying to this summer, and just going to college.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. I call it the curious case of Austin Simmons. Heck of a prospect. Case. Yeah. Look at his huddle video, Austin Simmons. You will be impressed. Honestly, he's impressive. Don't Google it,
Jeb. You can Google the huddle highlight, though, probably.
Jeb, we can't hear you.
Oh, yeah. There, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I knew nothing about this kid until I started looking him up when we were talking about him. And I got to tell you, I kind of like him. Some of it's just impressive. They're saying he played at like Miami Doctors Charter or something that doesn't have football. His freshman year and threw back-to-back no-hitters in baseball. That's impressive. But my favorite thing about him is the utter disrespect that he has for his current school, and I love it. It makes me laugh. So he went to, Pahokee? Is that what you said? Pahokee Blue Devils?
Pahokee.
Which was Anquan Bolden's old school. And he broke Anquan Bolden's passing record there.
Oh.
Records is held for a while now. He's got it. And then he told him he's transferred to another school. That just makes me laugh. I like this kid. He just came in, broke Anquan's record, and dipped. That's awesome.
Nice.
That is phenomenal.
Yeah.
He just learned his name on the board, and now he's gone.
If he goes to another high school, this will be his third high school. So he's somebody that even if he goes to Florida, or even if he goes to Ole Miss, the transfer portal is always going to be an option for this kid. It just is what it is.
Well, they're saying his dad's already got a job at Moorhaven, and that's where he's going to go. I don't know where that is, but
Moorhead State or Moorhaven?
Moorhaven. So his dad's like the offensive coordinator there now, just got that job, and so that's why he's leaving. But I just find that funny. Just showed up, had one great year, and then took off. And it was his sophomore year. That's how good he was. He broke the record his sophomore year.
And this kid's the real deal, apparently.
Yeah, he is really good. He's a top 100 player, and he deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
You just look at his video, it's like, okay, this kid could probably come into your program right now, red shirt for 1 year, and he's ready to compete in year two, honestly.
Corey, Jeb, you guys probably won't like that if he stays committed to Florida, though, just since y'all.
Yeah, I'm going to hope he doesn't. I'd rather him beat at Ole Miss. Although now, if they're getting rid of divisions, I guess Florida's not in our division anymore. But
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So
but if they're going to be a secondary rivalry.
Right.
Maybe, yeah. Mm-hmm. I would expect to see him more than Ole Miss, but you never know.
Yeah. But you're at least going to see him every other year. But I'm telling you, like I said, I called it a curious case because this kid is unbelievably intriguing and hit the genetic jackpot. A lefty that can throw 96 at 17 years old. that dude's got so much cash in his future.
I was going to say, I'm kind of surprised he's not focusing more on baseball.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's great at it.
Well, that's one of the reasons he's talking to Ole Miss in Florida.
Because he can play baseball as well.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
He can do that because SEC baseball is essentially the equivalent of what AA.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're a southpaw and you make it to the major leagues, you're pretty much going to have a really good career.
Yeah. I mean, Jamie Moyer pitched for 25 years at 85 miles an hour.
Right. Yeah.
He just painted the corner.
Yeah.
I think he was like 47 when he finally retired, but pitched that year before he retired. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up.
Michael, it's time for picks.
It's almost close. We've got the voice of God coming in at the end of the summer. We're doing picks again. We're actually, if anybody's looking, we're looking for sponsorship for the pick segment. Mm-hmm. And we're going to post the live video, but we're also going to take the pick segment, cut it up, and put it on the next day just as a standalone.
Yeah, and that will be presented by
DeadSoxy.
DeadSoxy. But the pick segment will be
somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But everything on here is presented by DeadSoxy. Jason takes care of everything. He's presenting everything.
That's
right. He's presenting the opportunity to present.
Yes.
Right.
So should be pretty good. But we will have the voice of God back this fall. She's looking forward to it. Right now, she's just going to bed at like 7:30 because
she's gearing up. So here's what I'm in need of, and maybe one of our associate producers, maybe that one that's sitting in the background there, Jake. I need somebody that listens to my show that can tell me, okay, from this time to this time, this is the clip that you need to cut up, because I have a hard time doing it because I think it's all good. So I have a hard time picking out which one is the best.
Were you being a homer? No. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm being a bit of a homer, actually. Yeah. I'm like, I think all this stuff is good, man.
Right.
So
hey, Ricky, we're doing well. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Ricky.
What's up, Ricky Henderson?
Ricky. I was going to say Ricky Bobby, but that's better.
Michael, I think she won picks last fall, so she technically crushed everybody in picks.
I think she won by one game over me.
Yeah.
Man, that's wild.
Yeah. I kind of crashed there at the end. I think I was in the lead for a long time, and then I just kind of tanked.
Yeah, I kind of had the Ole Miss policy last year.
Yeah,
it was not a good November for me.
I kind of let Vandy influence me in that last game, and I picked Vandy over Tennessee, which I should have never done, but
Hey, I am proud I took Vandy, and I would take them again. Anchor down.
Nobody could have guessed how Joe Milton was going to do. So.
Yeah.
Joe Milton could have gone out there, beaten one of his own receivers in the head, knocked him out, and that'd been the game for us. You never know.
Joe Milton can throw the ball for you 40 yards if you need him to throw it 40 yards. But if you need him to throw it 20 yards, he can throw the ball 40 yards.
Yeah.
Wait, I've never heard this one before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Hey, I've got Joe Milton jokes for at least one more year. The other one is the Anthony Richardson where he hit the ceiling on there, and I was like, well, that was a screen pass.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. That is
I feel like the guy in one video. Was there a receiver up there? No? Yeah, that sounds like him.
Yeah.
I like that.
I love it, dude.
Man, it's an interesting thing. You have people that are completely analytically driven. Whenever it is all about analytics. And you can always tell the ones that are eye test people, because people like Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, they don't just go off their stats. Everybody sees that. It's like, ooh, they're 6'4", 220 pounds, can run like a deer, cannon for an arm. They have to be a good NFL quarterback. And everybody's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Have you ever seen these people play? Yeah. Anthony Richardson did not have multiple games of over 200 yards back to back.
And he lost to Vandy.
and he got boat raced by Vandy.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And the Colts are putting all their hopes into him, too.
Mm-hmm.
And, the Titans picked up Will Levis.
But at least they got him in the second round.
They got him in the second round. Yeah. But, did he win any meaningful game? Any big game that he needed to win? Did he win it?
Not last year. But
he regressed big time.
He did.
Yeah. No,
yeah,
I agree. But he's also not our starter, at least. I don't know what.
Thank God. Did you see how throw the other day?
I'm praying it's Malik Willis. I'm praying it's Malik Willis.
No, Ryan Tannehill's still the starter.
Ryan Tannehill's not. He was not the problem.
That don't give me any hope.
Yeah.
He was not the solution, but he was definitely not the problem either.
No, he'll be decent. He's just not the future,
He's not the future, and he's not the problem.
Yeah.
He is the stopgap. He's the guy that's just good enough to get they need an offensive line that can protect, and they need a receiver like DeAndre Hopkins to come in and be a good target, be a nice little 1-2 punch. Make sure Nick Westbrook-Ikhine is not your number 2. Like Nick Westbrook-Ikhine as your number 2 means your receiver room is awful.
Garbage.
Yeah.
He has to be at least at best your number 3. And then you have Kyle Phillips as a nice little slot guy there.
Mm-hmm.
This year we may need a quarterback who could scramble because that offensive line is going to be rough.
Yeah, it's not looking pretty. That offensive line ain't.
No. We'll just see, unless all these guys step up. But yes, I agree, Michael. I think Richardson's going to get somebody fired.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did Michael mean about his Auburn football team having off the field issues? I haven't heard of this.
I think they're in that they joined that league in Sweden, from what I hear.
Oh yeah.
That's right. They're training for the wrong season.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. How did you forget about that?
Yeah,
were you looking longingly at a poster of Aubie's eyes?
Yeah. Yeah. It's right. It's right off camera. You can't see it.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
I support all Alabama athletics.
Is Cassidy like a closet Georgia fan?
Yes.
Okay.
I wouldn't say she's a closet Georgia fan. She's pretty outspoken about it.
Yeah, she ain't no damn closet nothing.
She's definitely.
She's even saying "Go Eagles" now. It's like, good grief.
Yeah,
she's a 50-50er at this point.
She used to be an Auburn fan. Then she married me. She's an Alabama fan. Now she's a Georgia fan. So she just flipped me off, but you can't do that no more. Anyway,
throw some at him, Cassie. Throw some.
Yeah. But yeah, I think she's just is a bandwagon. She's a bandwagoner. Whatever team wins the national championship, that's who she goes to.
Throw some at him, Cassidy, please.
You know,
I'll break it.
You know, once July gets here and we start going through like previews of each team, I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, we're going to pay close attention to Texas and Oklahoma because they're legit.
Yeah, she just did it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, as Becky would say, "Hear cat, see cat."
Yeah, but talking about previews, Corey. We haven't put them all out yet, but me and Stacey just finished up going by every position, doing the depth chart look for Alabama. So
I know. I tried to. I joined it in your show yesterday, and I got no love there.
Heck, I did too.
We said hello.
Yeah,
we weren't talking about that though. We was talking about the schedule.
I made like 38 comments.
Stacey and Joe, he's a new guy we brought on board, and they got kind of into the argument about the 12-team playoff because Steven, you know how Stacey feels about the 12-team playoff, and Joe is on your side, so it was a fun discussion. I just leaned back and just let him talk.
Yeah, Stacey is the guy that we just argue from time to time about that. We have different views on different things in football, and it's like, let's go.
Yeah, it's fun. It's good criticism, but at the end of the day, we're all friends, and it's good to have some back and forth banter like that. Just so.
Oh, Steve got it. Who's on the cover there?
Brock Bowers, Montreal Jordan, Joe Milton and Spencer Rattler.
Who's Brock Bowers?
He is the second best tight end in the SEC.
Okay. Good.
Ooh.
Okay.
Right. If Michael Trigg's head's on straight, there's nobody touching him. I'm dead serious about that. But Brock Bowers is very good. I'm not saying he's not.
Brock Bowers is an alien, dude. I don't know.
Brock Bowers
I love Michael Trigg, but he,
Brock Bowers could probably be the number one pick next year if tight ends actually went number one. But he'd probably be a top 10 for sure.
Yeah. He's the guy that if Oakland had or Las Vegas had the number one pick, Brock Bowers is getting selected.
Right.
Yeah, because that's Travis Kelce 2.0. Like that guy's an alien.
Yep.
Yeah. You think Andy Reid's just looking at who's going to have a potentially horrible season that he can trade with for a first round pick? So he can sit there and Brock Bowers it.
Oh, God.
Man, having Kelce and Brock Bowers on the same team would be unfair.
You don't need a number one receiver.
No, you can just get rid of your whole receiving core.
Well, no, they'll have Sky Moore. Justin Ross apparently supposed to be coming along.
And they got a good running back too. Who's the one running back? I can't think of his name.
Isaiah Pacheco.
I thought it was like Hilaire or whatever.
Hilaire.
Well, they have Edwards Hilaire too.
Yeah,
I think he just got injured.
Thinking about trading him. They were thinking about trading him.
Oh, okay.
I heard he might be like a June 1st.
Clyde?
I heard he was like in that June trade bait type deal. But I think they want to trade him, but I don't think anybody wants to trade with them for him.
Right.
Not much.
He doesn't have much value at the NFL level. He was great at LSU, but just has not transferred like it should have. I mean, he's been decent, but you don't draft a guy in the first round to be decent.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't panned out. That's true.
Yeah.
But no, Brock Bowers. Steve, I'm gonna die on this hill. Call me a homer. He is not better than Michael Trigg. Is not better than Brock Bowers.
Oh yeah, we can talk about how you want to. It doesn't matter, honestly. At the end of the day, I think if Trigg's head's on straight, he's as good as anybody in the country. Seriously.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's a great number 2 tight end in the country. Have you seen Brock Bowers go up in the air like as big as he is?
Hey, hey, what if Brock Bowers takes a step back this year?
I don't see that happening.
We could what if thing to death.
What if his success, his super success, was based a lot on Monken and how he was used, and that doesn't happen with Bobo.
Well, then I guess we'll see.
Because system is everything. He might have been the perfect player for Todd Monken's system.
I don't think he's going to lose any value going to the NFL.
I don't either.
But
he's going to be first team All-American. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
If teams traded up for Will Levis, I don't think stats matter.
Ain't that the truth? And of course, it had to be freaking the Titans. Jesus.
Well, y'all can talk about Trigg and Bowers all you want, but at the end of the season, you're going to wish you had McCallan Castles.
He's so good you can't say his name.
Yeah.
I don't know him, but
Jeb had put his glasses on. Like,
McCallan? I don't know. Whatever his name is.
Yeah, so Michael and Steve, I came onto your show, Steve, and we talked about Michael Trigg, so I know more than the average non-Ole Miss fan about Michael Trigg and how good he is and how good he can be. He's just got his head is wedged somewhere that it shouldn't be. I can't say what I want to say, but it's wedged somewhere that it shouldn't be, and if he unwedges it from that spot, he can be a very special player, and he is honestly the missing piece, the wild card to this whole Ole Miss football situation here.
Yeah,
if he's good, Ole Miss is good.
This is what I was told yesterday, that the competition has brought out nothing but positive in him. Whenever he had to, last season, he just knew he was going to walk on the field. There was nobody else that could compete with him talent-wise. He was going to be the guy. Now is a little bit of a different story because Caden Priestcorn is rated as the number 3 PFF tight end returning in the country. So Michael Trigg's going to have to go. I think he's going to end up doing a lot of that slot stuff, a lot of that Brock Bowers type stuff. They're going to play matchups that Lane Kiffin loves to do. And I think Michael Trigg can be very effective in that. And then you have somebody like Caden Priestcorn playing true tight end stuff with split zone, playing the RPO game, those low dump off passes and things like that. And I think if that happens, Ole Miss's offense has a chance to be very dynamic, especially with the wide receivers, Zachary Franklin and Trey Harris. I mean, you essentially have all Conference USA wide receivers lining up for you, and then you have the best running back in the country sitting back behind you. And this offense has a chance to be dynamic.
Very dynamic. And so what and making this thing full circle, going back to Brock Bowers, what makes Brock Bowers so good is that he is built like a inline tight end and plays like a Michael Trigg type tight end, like a Kyle Pitts type tight end, where it's that just larger receiver guy that if you really needed him to, he probably could play in line, but that's not his optimal spot. That's the beautiful thing.
Think of Trigg's 245 pounds. He's not like an Evan Ingram type.
Didn't realize he was that big.
Yeah, he's a big man.
Okay, he's pretty okay. All right, did not realize the number was that big. He just doesn't. It just doesn't appear that way.
If that light comes on, that athletic ability.
I guess he's just tall.
Yeah. Right? And not only that, he's fluid. When he runs, he doesn't look like a big guy. Real similar to Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
He's real fluid, real athletic. But I think he's 6'4" or 6'5", isn't he? Something like that. He's a decent sized man.
I realized he was that thick. Okay, never mind. Okay. Let
me look that up just to make sure I'm not speaking out of school.
Yeah, look that up. But we're clearly favored to win Conference USA. Love that.
6'3", 240.
Okay. All right, 6'3", 240. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, it's 8:47. So we have not really gone into MLS After Dark. So
MLS After Dark.
Shall we? Look. So in case you're living under a rock, Lionel Messi, the best player
Magisterial.
in the world, maybe the best player to ever lace up a pair of soccer cleats.
Mm-hmm. The other one that would argue that you would be in the conversation also played in the U.S., by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So Lionel Messi is going to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Enter Miami.
Big pickup.
Huge pickup for them. A huge draw. Huge feather in the cap for the MLS because it is. I mean, even though we get laughed at, we're the European Retirement League, but Messi still got a lot left in the tank.
He does.
He is still a very, very good player.
Before the game this morning, if you wanted secondary market tickets to a Inter Miami home game, it was about $25. Okay, it's $25 get-in price for an Inter Miami game. After the news of Lionel Messi started to broke, it is now higher than the NBA Finals to just go to a regular season Inter Miami game.
Wow.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if they're home on the road. People are trying to do it, but it's somewhere around $500 or $600 get-in price to see Inter Miami play right now.
Yeah, That's crazy.
That's a huge win for the league.
Yeah,
I love it, man. Like I'm not going to pay $500 or $600 to go see him play, but I love the fact that MLS is growing. It is growing with me. Obviously, Nashville SC being good and. Mukhtar, I think that's how you say his name. I'm still learning, but he has been tremendous for Nashville SC.
By the way, the end of July, I believe it is, Inter Miami versus Nashville SC.
Nice.
That is one of the things where everybody's looking at that it's going to be one of the first games for Messi.
Okay. All right, Steve. So hop on your jet that you're going to get with Locked On, and then let's go to the game.
Looks like it's the end of August.
The end of August?
Yeah. That's too bad too. I actually know people with season tickets. If that was in Nashville, I'm going to be in Nashville that week.
Oh,
go to that game, but it's in Miami, so I will.
Yeah, it's. I'm going and Inter Miami actually right now plays in Fort Lauderdale. They're trying to get a stadium built in Miami. Now with Messi being on the team, they're going to get that stadium built in Miami. But Fort Lauderdale is like 2 hours and 15 minutes, 2 hours and 30 minutes away from me right now. So I will be going down there to see that, and I will have a Lionel Messi pink 10 jersey because I do think Inter Miami has the best uniforms in Major League Soccer, and it's not even particularly close.
Man,
I'll tell you who doesn't.
If they were in Nashville,
I'll tell you who doesn't have the greatest uniforms is Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
they botched that one.
Yeah, they've botched it a couple of times.
Yeah, not good. Portland Timbers has pretty sweet.
Their first crest was awesome.
Yeah.
And then they just ruined it and ruined it again.
It's all now they don't even have a jersey sponsor either, which is weird.
The funny thing is RSL signed a DP forward today, and nobody knows about him. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Leave it to RSL to make a splash and actually go spend some money, and nobody's even going to talk about it once.
Who do they get?
I don't know his name. There's a guy that from Pachuca, Mexico. Yeah, Wayne Rooney's the coach at DC.
He's coaching.
Yeah, he's the coach at DC.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember when he come to the States, and that was a big hoopla. But this is right here is going to take the cake over that.
Yeah.
You think?
Well, yeah. This contract, the rumor is that they got very creative. And by the way, Cristiano Ronaldo is not coming to MLS. Cristiano Ronaldo is a Nike athlete.
Mm-hmm.
MLS is an Adidas league.
Yeah. And
Messi is an Adidas athlete, and he is going to get some merchandising stuff from Adidas to come over here. So whenever I get that jersey, Messi's going to get a piece of that. And also Apple, the big $250 million a year Apple TV contract, Messi's going to get a part of that too.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense, because people are going to tune into that. He's going to make them money.
Yeah.
So the person that made this deal must have just watched the movie Air.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought too. They just remember how Adidas did not get Michael Jordan. It's like, we're not doing that again.
Yeah.
Screw that. Okay, Messi, you're going to get part of our apparel deal, and we're going to talk to Apple, and you're going to get part of that deal.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's never been done before.
And Apple's going to be the only place that you can really watch Lionel Messi play, and that's a subscription service. They're about to make so much money on this.
Yeah. It's a win-win for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I knew the thing that was going to happen, it got leaked out about 4 months ago, that Argentina was going to set up some youth camps in the U.S. Or not camps, but youth academies. And it was going to be based in Miami. And it was like, okay, that's what happens. And right now it looks like Tata Martino is probably going to be the coach of Miami.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how all of these things just are working out, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird how that works. But Messi turned down $1.6 billion over 3 years to play in MLS. $1 billion.
Because I don't know how long is this like stock in Apple forever? Like the Apple share, is that forever?
I think he's got a deal also like Beckham, to where after he retires, he can have a franchise in MLS.
Mm-hmm.
Long term is probably a better deal.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
It's a Jordan type situation, I think.
He'll make his billion for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He'll make his billion. He's not worried about that, obviously.
What's crazy is when Corey and I was working at Rivals, we would turn on MLS and, watch what's going on. I think there were 10 teams in the league at that time, something like that. And there was
the closest team to us was Houston.
Yeah, and there's no teams in the Southeast, and it was like, how's that? 15 years later, there's 30 teams in the league. This is after they went and did their crazy thing with David Beckham. All these new stadiums have been built. The league is on unbelievably solid footing. Mm-hmm. And now you're going to come in and supercharge it with Messi, who's going to lead into the World Cup being held in the U.S. in 2026. This just feels like a seminal time in U.S. soccer. And it honestly would be difficult for them to mess it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do not challenge them.
We're very far removed of the days where I went to go buy shin guards and the guy's like, soccer?
Yes, soccer?
Yeah.
You play soccer?
Oh, I don't know why, but whenever you said that, that just reminded me that if that time I almost got into the fight with the Swedish guy over him clowning in front of the goal.
Oh,
yeah, I think I barreled into him. We were on the same team.
Yeah, we were getting destroyed like 8 or 9-1, and he just like stopped the ball on the goal line and, rolled it across late, and he's being real cute. I was known as a guy that didn't have problems doing unpopular things. We'll just put it at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I think it wasn't long. It wasn't long until we made the switch to realize that me, who had never played soccer before in my life, was better with my hands than I was with my feet. So I was like, okay, I'm going to play goalie because like what sparked it was like you had to miss a game.
Okay.
And so I played goal, and I was just like, oh, this is fun. Like I don't ever get subbed out. Like nobody wants to play this position. I get to use my hands, and I turned into a goalie.
Yeah.
I loved every minute of it.
5'6" goalie.
I was more like Goldberg from the Mighty Ducks, They're kicking the balls at me. I'm getting out of the way. They're like, hey, you're supposed to stop it. The balls are supposed to hit you. So that sounds stupid to anybody else. That's kind of how it works. No, thank you.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. It just got to the point whenever I was about 35 years old, where I was like, I can't run around with these kids anymore.
Right.
There's 18-year-olds running around, and it's like, no, I just can't do this.
Well, yeah. I couldn't do it at 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But I do think that MLS is about to take yet another jump, and it should be interesting to see exactly what happens. Inter Miami right now is dead last in the Eastern Conference. So we'll see if they rise up to get to the playoff level. But if not, they're about to sell a ton of tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it won't be long before they're pretty good. But Nashville SC is rolling along. Atlanta United's rolling along. I think those are the top two teams in the Eastern Conference. The Southeast didn't want a team for a long time, but is it too early to chant SEC for MLS?
Yeah.
Like,
I like the idea. Whenever Atlanta United was winning, I was always for chanting SECFC.
hell yeah. Now Nashville SC is good, and we can truly say that.
Yeah. But yeah, it should be really interesting. Like I said, I already have the MLS package, so whenever he plays, I'm going to be watching. That's going to be my CTV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That dang World Cup final was insane.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I've always been a Messi guy. I've never been a Ronaldo guy. To me, Ronaldo was just kind of greasy, And it's like, no thanks. And Messi he was the little guy, literally. And you look at it, and the little guy's running like 23 miles an hour with a ball in his feet, and it's like, okay, that's impressive.
and that ball doesn't leave his feet. He can pretty much control that ball however he wants to.
Yeah. And it's like, I even watched a documentary that's completely in Spanish about Messi, talking about him from the beginning and his growing up to even before PSG. And it was just really interesting. He's been the best player on the field since he was on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, he has never stepped on a field where he wasn't the best player on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't say what Ronaldo truly is. but it's a female dog.
Oh, yeah, and it didn't help that he played for Man U. Talking about getting off on the wrong foot.
Yeah,
he's just so whiny, man.
Yeah.
Like, like he's just whiny.
He's like,
Doesn't
remember
seem like-
the Steven Gerrard starfish? Like whenever somebody would get within 5 feet from him, he'd flail out. And it looked like he got killed. I mean, there's people that just drive you absolutely bonkers, and
That's what, like LeBron. Like LeBron and Ronaldo are the same because they're just freaking just monuments of human beings, and they flop around like, and they whine and complain all the time.
yeah.
You're just
But
like,
hey.
dude, you're way too big and way too athletic to be doing that.
Good for Ronaldo for going and getting that bag, and nobody being able to watch him play.
yeah.
I
You're
agree.
right.
If it ain't about the money.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. The one thing that we've learned over the last 5 years is how much people will compromise themselves for $1.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost surprising whenever somebody doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, wow, Messi turned down $1 billion. Well, he's going to make that.
Yeah.
He's going to make that plus some with this.
You always talk about betting on yourself. Yeah, that's what Messi did. He's betting on himself.
This is generational wealth because he can pass down his shares to his children.
And I get it, but $1.6 billion. I
That's a
don't know.
lot. He's
It's
gonna
kind of
get
like it's kind of like
I
an
don't believe in
investment,
myself.
Jeff.
I don't believe in myself that much. Well, anyway,
It's
I'm glad
kind
he
of like an
does.
investment.
Yeah. I
He's
hope
either
it
going
works
to
for it.
he's going to get 1.6 billion in 3 years, or he's going to get 1.6 billion plus for the next 30, 40, 50 years. You gotta
I guess the
think
worst that
about
could happen is he only gets like 250 million. It just has to.
And-
He's about to own. He's
Yeah.
about to own an American sports franchise in one of the fastest growing leagues in the world.
it. Right.
And he's
Like,
probably
come on.
brushing up on his burn notice as we speak to get ready to move down there.
Oh, yeah.
And Miami
Yeah.
Vice.
Yeah, I'm into season 2, Corey. By the way, of Burn Notice. We started talking about it. I started watching it again. I'm into
Shit.
season 2.
That
I'm watching. I told you I'm watching Jack Ryan. I just started season 3 of Jack Ryan. So.
I
we
forgot
got-
season 3 came out. I got to watch that. All right.
Well,
Yeah, season 4 comes out the end of June, right?
Yeah.
I think The Witcher comes out in the next couple of weeks too.
So I got to get
Doesn't
caught up. I got to get caught up on that.
And also, when Jeb comes back, we'll get ready to do it because our watch of 1923.
Yep. I was going to say we got that coming up.
Yeah, we got that coming up the end of this month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be gone all this next week. Although I may try and still tune in for the show. So I just have to do it from my phone, but it
Yeah.
might work.
Yeah, because they're releasing the schedule. Jeb wants to be a part of it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Might do it on the beach. You know,
So
at night.
Dolphin Island, Jeb and Dolphin. We'll have 2 people from Alabama. In Alabama.
I've never been to a beach in Alabama, so it should be interesting.
Well, I don't know. Why are you going to the Alabama beach when you got all the good ones on the Florida coast?
My brother lives in Arkansas, and apparently that's as far as he's willing to drive his family. He
Dude,
said, make it there,
dude,
and that's it.
You can drive less than an hour and get to a really nice Gulf beach.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not even a problem on that one.
But instead, I can drive 8.5 hours and go to Alabama Beach. Which is pretty cool. So,
Yeah, it's vacation homes, and it's like the nearest Walmart's in Mobile.
yeah, I got to
Yeah,
stop
you're
in
gonna
Mobile on my way.
Be 3.5 hours away from civilization, but besides the people down there.
If you hear banjos, Jeb, abandon ship.
Yeah, he's from
Yeah,
Tennessee. He knows about that rule.
Yeah. Really. I know when to run. Yes.
Run faster. I hear banjo music.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
No, I want to see my niece and nephews, so this is what I have to do. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, the niece and nephews
I'm sure Dolphin Island's nice.
they need to come down here.
Yeah, I'm
And Steve is
kind
like,
of mad they
they
haven't yet.
Jeb, you live in the state of Florida for a reason. There's only one reason to live in Florida, for people to come vacation and see you, and you don't have to travel.
I was going to say wildfires, but anyway.
Yeah, at least we
Speaking
don't
of wildfires, did y'all see New York.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, that looked like an apocalyptic.
Yeah,
it was
nuts.
awful. Yeah,
absolutely nuts. They had to postpone the Tigers game.
Yeah,
in Philadelphia because of the wildfires. It's like, what's going on, Canada? Get a grip. What do you think you are, California?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to be California, eh?
Obviously, those space lasers were being used.
Oh.
They had all those sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their freaking heads.
They're freaking laser beams.
Yeah, freaking anti-Canadians, which I'm actually anti-Canadian, but you get my point.
Yes.
I think they had to ground a bunch of flights and stuff too. I mean, as if the airline industry didn't have enough problems.
Yeah. Yeah, Southwest is the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Southwest.
It's a nightmare.
What a very efficiently run airline.
Yeah.
They have zero problems, and their customers are always very cheerful.
Seriously.
Very.
No, they used to be fine. I don't know what happened, but no, it's
COVID happened.
Yeah, I guess maybe.
COVID happened, and everybody went freaking nuts. Like people, you can't like, and people on an airplane suck anyway.
Yeah.
From the invention of an airplane, people's conduct on an airplane has been horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
Now you factor in COVID. Now everybody's extra sensitive, extra impatient, extra anxious, extra whatever. And now you get all these videos you see of just like an airport might as well just be, they might as well just put UFC training centers in airports.
Yeah, it's horrible. But hey, it is what it is. Anyway, but Corey, you want to get us out of here?
Yeah, let's get us out of here. But first, like you can go visit the boxing gym at BNA. So if you got a beef with somebody, just throw in the gloves and settle it the old-fashioned way. No, but we are SEC After Dark. We are presented by DeadSoxy, as well as BetOnline.ag.
DeadSoxy.
Right. We will be back here next week for the reveal of the SEC schedule, the temporary 8-game schedule. Hopefully. To Steve's wishes, and now to mine. After talking to Israel last night, hopefully a 9-game schedule in the distant future. So we will see you back here next week. Jeb, enjoy the beach in Alabama, and we will see you back here next week better than ever. As a triad, we are SEC After Dark. We'll see you back here next week. Until then, go Dogs.
Hotty toddy.
Go Vols.
Roll Tide.
Row Tide.
Paul.
Hi, Paul.
You ain't played nobody, Paul.
Paul.
Listen here, Paul. Oh, gosh.
Paul.
First time